and now rightfully claims their own. Lance Corporal Manning is a 3-year-old full-blooded English bulldog born in Palmer, California on July 9, 2018. He is named in honor of Sergeant Johnny R. Manuelito Sr., one of the original 29 Navajo code talkers who trained in the 1st All-Navajo Platoon here aboard the depot in 1942. Sergeant Manuelito helped create the code that the Navajos developed at Camp Elliott, now Marine Corps Air Station Miramar. He became an instructor, teaching other Navajo Marines the Navajo code. Later, Sergeant Manuelito participated in the Battle of Iwo Jima, where a Marine Signals officer stated, "Had it not been for the code talkers, we would have never taken Iwo Jima." Lance Corporal Manning continues the tradition of a long line of mascots at MCRD San Diego, dating back to 1939, when Major General Smedley Butler introduced James Jolly Plum Duck as the first mascot here at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot. He is being escorted by the Office of Communication, Corporal Grace J. Kindred.
Stop! Bullet!
Now, hold. Now, stand, sir. Hey.
Spiritual development plays an important part in the making of a United States Marine. Lieutenant Heath Taylor, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, will deliver the graduation prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Let us pray. Father in heaven, we come before you, thank you for this glorious Navy Marine Corps Day you have given us according to your unending grace. We invite your presence here with us this morning as we celebrate the hard work and accomplishment reflected in the making of Marines of Hotel Company who will assemble before us on the parade deck this morning. We ask you to protect and guide these Marines throughout their long, promising, and decorated careers. We also ask that you continue to watch over, keep, and bless both those gathered here today, as well as those soldiers, sailors, airmen, Coast Guardsmen, and Marines in forward deployed and hostile territories around the globe. Help us to serve our Corps and one another well, according to the honor, courage, and commitment we confess as creed. God bless our honored nation and our beloved Marine Corps, both now and forevermore. Hoorah and amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. The Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, welcomes you to what is a historic event in the life of a Marine, their graduation from boot camp. Approximately 40 weeks each year for the past 100 years, new Marines have departed San Diego for service with units of the Marine Corps around the globe. The primary mission of the Recruit Depot is to provide basic training to recruits enlisted west of the Mississippi, which represents approximately 51% of all applicants in the Marine Corps each year. The depot is also home to Recruiter School and Drill Instructor School. All our efforts here are geared toward one end: producing America's finest fighting force, the United States Marines. This morning, Company H, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment, will form and march in the parade. Following the pass and review, the graduating Marines will return front and center of the reviewing stand for final dismissal. The staff for today's parade is comprised of Marines from the Recruit Training Regiment. The commander of troops is First Sergeant Leopoldo L. Bernardo Jr., Company First Sergeant, Company H, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion. The parade adjutant is Staff Sergeant Raymond L. Radar, Drill Instructor, Company H, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment. The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, sound adjutant's call, we'll begin today's parade.
Adjutant, go!
Marching in today's parade are 398 of the graduating Marines from Company H. Among the 398 Marines are 2 Marines who displayed outstanding performances in 2 individually graded events. Private First Class Ryan H. Tripp from Platoon 2165 is the company high shooter, scoring a 346 out of 350. Private First Class Jordan J. Burrow from Platoon 2163 is the most physically fit Marine, scoring a 300 out of 300 on both the physical fitness test and the combat fitness test. They will be receiving an award from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. Not present today, but worth recognizing, is the company honor graduates recruiter, Sergeant David Escobedo Casas. Present today is the primary marksmanship instructor with a platoon high shooting average of 226 for Platoon 2163, Sergeant Leroy L. DeWitt III. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguish them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of a state of discipline which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well as the proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others toward excellence in common goals. For 246 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever the nation calls, in the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies. Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Though battlefields change and capabilities evolve, history proves that true victory comes from the individual Marine with steel resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight on against all odds. It takes that steadfast faithfulness, semper fidelis, to corps, country, and each other that abounds throughout our storied legacy. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be most ready when the nation is least ready, to defend freedom anytime and anywhere, to stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters, to pay tribute to those who have forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of Company H, today marks the end of the 13-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton and on this parade deck, and have been trained, as are all Marines, as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intensive physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the recruit depot. They are Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade.
Ready, front, cover. 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 Ready, front, cover.
The next portion of the ceremony will be our national anthem. We welcome veterans and members of the armed forces to join us in rendering appropriate honors with a military salute. For guests who have not served in the military, it is proper etiquette during the national anthem to place their right hand over their hearts, and for those in the audience wearing headgear, to remove it. Will the guests please rise for the presentation of the colors? Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Following the command, parade rest, the parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward the assembled Marines while playing military marching music. The parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops.
Defense San Diego! All present! Accounted for! Three! 2061! All present! Three! 2165! All present! Sir! All present or accounted for. All in order! Aye, sir! Recruit Training Battalion! Marine Corps Recruit Depot! San Diego, California! 22 December 2021! The officer today is Captain Pendleton! The officer today tomorrow is Captain Mascot!
At the command, officers center march. All unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Throughout our nation's history, millions of men and women have earned the title United States Marine. Many who have helped shape our history join us here today. In keeping with the tradition of once a Marine, always a Marine, we would like to recognize them. At this time, those in the audience who have served as Marines, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for their dedicated service to Corps and country. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Battalion Commander for 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel R. Myers.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you all for being here. On behalf of Brigadier General Jason L. Morris, the Commanding General of the Western Recruited Region and the Marine Corps Recruit Depot here at San Diego, as well as on behalf of Colonel Joseph W. Jones, the Commanding Officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to Company H's graduation. I'd like to begin my remarks today by recognizing a few groups of individuals. First and foremost, to all you family and friends of these new Marines standing behind me, I'd like to personally thank you for all your love and support of them during recruit training, for it has been vital to their success. You gave them the preparation and the foundation that allowed them to overcome the many mental and physical challenges during their time here. And you also instilled the courage and commitment that allowed them to take those initial steps towards becoming a United States Marine. And for that, we are forever grateful. To the families of the drill instructors and officers of Company H who are seated to the right of the reviewing stand, no one knows more than you the time and dedication that it takes to transform a civilian into a Marine. And so I want to personally thank you for your many, many sacrifices that allowed these drill instructors and officers to perform a mission that is absolutely critical to our national security and our Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give these family members a round of applause. I'd also like to recognize today's parade reviewing official, Sergeant Major Rosalia Schifo. She is currently serving as a Sergeant Major of 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. Sergeant Major, it's an honor to have you. Thank you for joining us today. You know, making Marines is truly a team effort. And with that team effort, I'd like to recognize the combat instructors and marksmanship instructors of the Weapons Field Training Battalion who teach many of our recruits the combat skills necessary to become a United States Marine. Today, they are represented here by Sergeant Leroy DeWitt, who is the primary marksmanship instructor for the company's high shooter, Private First Class Ryan Tripp. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give Sergeant DeWitt and all our combat instructors and marksmanship instructors a round of applause. I have one more group that I'd like to recognize, and these individuals really don't need much of an introduction. They're the individuals standing behind me wearing those distinctive green campaign covers. They're the legendary Marine Corps drill instructors, and from the moment a recruit steps foot here on the depot, there is a drill instructor with him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for they are the very heart of what it takes to transform a civilian into a Marine. And you can ask any Marine and they will tell you that they will never, ever forget the name, the face, or the gentle, loving voice that woke them up every morning for 13 weeks of their drill instructor. And so I encourage you after today's ceremony to come down and thank some of these drill instructors for their service. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. And now I'd like to tell you a little bit about these new Marines and about the training that they just went through. You see, when they first came to us, they were fit, young, already in better shape than most people their age. On average, they were 19 years old. 99% of them were high school graduates, and 2 of them even had college degrees. And they came to us from across all states in the Western Recruiting Region and 4 other countries across this globe. Some coming as far as Colombia and Vietnam, and others from right here within San Diego. And when they arrived here, Well, that's when steel began to sharpen steel, as these drill instructors forged them through the fires of the crucible into a tightly cohesive group of physically fit, disciplined Marines, honing their minds and their bodies until they proved themselves capable of marching long distances across mountainous terrain with minimal food and sleep to be where they're needed, when they're needed to accomplish the mission. Now, many of you who visited with your Marine yesterday saw some of the changes that have occurred, but I want to tell you about a few more. Moms, you're going to love this. I promise you they know how to get up every morning and make their beds. And dads, well, they finally got that haircut that you've always wanted them to get them, and I guarantee you they'll keep it for the foreseeable future. But I want you to know that truly the most important change is one that has occurred within, for they have been thoroughly immersed in our core values of honor, courage, and commitment. And just by virtue of them standing here today means they've accepted those values as their own. And it's because of this, because the journey that they have made and the physical, mental, and moral development that they have displayed, that through their blood, sweat, and tears, they are now proud to forever claim that title of United States Marine. And now I am proud to introduce to all of you 398 members of Company H as our nation's newest Marines. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to turn and address these Marines one last time before we conclude today's ceremony. Good morning, Marines. Like I've told you before, Sergeant Major and I are extremely proud of you. Every challenge, every obstacle that we put in your path, you crushed it, and you truly earned the title of United States Marine. When you first came here on those buses and stepped off on those legendary yellow footprints, these drill instructors focused on instilling discipline, resiliency, and our core values in you until you demonstrated our Marine attributes of exemplary character and mental and physical toughness. And as you progressed your training, you entered our martial arts program where you earned your tan belt. Some of you learned how to swim for the very first time in our water survival program. And many of you overcame your fear of heights as you negotiated those high obstacles on our confidence course. And then you were taught weapons handling and traveled up to Weapons Field Training Battalion where you learned to deliver precision fires on pinpoint targets from a staggering distance of over 500 yards away, demonstrating our warfighting ethos, skills, and culture. And as a final test, you participated in that grueling 3-day exercise where you were given billets that required you to demonstrate leadership, initiative, and a bias for intelligent action, until you fully demonstrated at a level that we expect of every single Marine all of our attributes. So now, having completed the longest, the hardest, and certainly the most demanding recruit training across this globe, you stand ready to carry on our Marine traditions as our nation's Naval Expeditionary Force in readiness and defend our great nation against all enemies. As you travel away from here today, I implore you to be smart, be safe, make good decisions like we've taught you. Never forget that eagle globe and anchor that was pressed into the palm of your hand up on top of that Reaper, for it represents over 246 years of Marine Corps traditions. You must always be worthy of that legacy and protect what you have earned. And so on behalf of the officers, the drill instructors, and the support personnel here at Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, it is my privilege to give you a traditional Marine Corps parting of fair winds and following seas. Congratulations, Marines. Semper Fidelis, Merry Christmas, and welcome to our Corps.
Now taking their position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing official, Sergeant Major Rosalia Schifo, Sergeant Major for 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. She is accompanied by Sergeant Major Abel T. Leal, Sergeant Major for Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego and the Western Recruiting Region. Sergeant Major Rosalia Schifo, Sergeant Major, 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. Sergeant Major Schifo is a native of Orange, California, and enlisted in the Marine Corps in June 1994. After graduating Marine combat training, Sergeant Major Schifo attended military police school and obtained the military occupational specialty of 5811 Military Police. Sergeant Major Schifo has served in a variety of challenging billets and numerous commands to include serving as a gate sentry, patrolman, patrol supervisor, and a 911 emergency dispatcher at Security Battalion, Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton. Military Police School instructor at Fort McClellan, Alabama. Drill instructor, senior drill instructor, and company gunnery sergeant at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Parris Island. Enlisted career counselor at Enlisted Assignments, Manpower Management Division, Headquarters Marine Corps. Company gunnery sergeant at Military Police Company, Combat Logistics Regiment 17. Company first sergeant at 9th Communications Battalion. And the battalion sergeant major at Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division. Sergeant Major Schifo currently serves as the sergeant major for 3rd Marine Aircraft Wing. Sergeant Major Schifo's personal awards include the Meritorious Service Medal with 4 gold stars in lieu of 5th award, the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 2 gold stars in lieu of 3rd award, the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 2 gold stars in lieu of 3rd award, and the Army Achievement Medal. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sergeant Major Rosalia Schifo. More than 1 million Marines have been trained here in the past 100 years and have departed San Diego for combat in conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Pusan, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, Quezon, Way City, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Fallujah, Marja, and our most current operations worldwide. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of Troops, First Sergeant Leopoldo El Bernardo Jr., company first sergeant, and the regimental staff. Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, as the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Series 2161, Series Chief Drone Instructor, Gunnery Sergeant Sopat Dom. Platoon 2161, Senior Drill Instructor Israel J. Prater. Honor Platoon 2162, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Taylor J. Fall. Platoon 2163, Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Shane T. Schrager. The Regimental Color Guard is led by the Regimental Color Sergeant, Drill Instructor Sergeant Jesus R. Aguilera. Series 2165, Series Chief Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Gerald W. Bulatuli. And Platoon 2165, Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Reginald L. Santifer. Platoon 2166, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Jacob H. Camacho. Platoon 2167, Senior Drill Instructor, Staff Sergeant Damian L. Brown. The Marines hymn has a history dating back to 1859. It is a long-standing tradition for Marines to face the direction of the music and stand at attention when it is heard. It is now directed that all Marines present and who have served honorably sing the words to the first verse as Marine Band San Diego performs the Marines hymn. Will the guests please rise? Please be seated.
Mayor, the parade is concluded. Aye, Mayor.
The Marine Corps' uniqueness and strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of the drill instructors and company officers who train and supervise the recruits. The distinct qualities of spirit and discipline, the heart and soul of every Marine, have been developed, nurtured, and ingrained in recruits through their observance and relationship with their drill instructors and officers. Recruit training is the very foundation of the Corps. Each year, recruit training provides thousands of America's finest young men and women with the basic knowledge and skills to function in a profession characterized by its own set of high values and tough standards. The most important thing we do in the Marine Corps is make Marines. The individual Marine is the Corps. That is what we do here. For the Marines graduating today, the long, arduous journey of the last 13 weeks is but a small step into the future of the Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although Company H prepares for their final dismissal from boot camp today, their initial training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine rifle squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Austin L. Hogan. The company first sergeant is First Sergeant Leopoldo L. Bernardo, Jr. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the company staff of Company H. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the guidons.
Guys! Center! Put!
The guidons have been carried by the platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units in the Marine Corps carry such guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these guidons is bestowed upon those Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and character, and were selected as the platoon honor graduates. The platoon honor graduates compete for the titles of series and company honor graduate. They are considered the top Marines graduating today and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps.
Center! Forward! March! Order! Got him!
The guidons will now be returned to the drill instructors.
Forward! Detail! Hold!
Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all honor graduates have been recognized. The honor graduates will be presented a plaque donated by the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. The honor graduate for Platoon 2161 and the series honor graduate is Private First Class Jackson B. Kite from Tulsa, Oklahoma. The honor graduate for Platoon 2162 is Private First Class Luke M. Pascal from Westland, Oregon. The honor graduate for Platoon 2163 is Private First Class Joshua E. Griffin from Madisonville, Texas. The honor graduate for Platoon 2165 is Private First Class Gustavo R. Carrasco Ramirez from Las Vegas, Nevada. The honor graduate for Platoon 2166 is Private First Class Joshua M. Walker from Prosper, Texas. And the honor graduate for Platoon 2167 and the company honor graduate is Private First Class Andrew B. Tankery from Surprise, Arizona. Private First Class Tankery is also the recipient of the Chesty Puller Award for his outstanding meritorious performance while in recruit training. Ladies and gentlemen, the honor graduates of Company H.
Hold! Hold!
First, sir! Report is order!
Dismiss the company!
Aye, aye, sir!
The company first sergeant will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training.
Senior drill instructor! Dismiss your platoon!
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony.